GBPJPY, beautiful PA recently, off the highs. Now, first and foremost, the weekly grids. Where have these weekly grids appeared from? So if I just modify that there, right on the wick of that high. Okay, we've seen a breach through. 1 week we're above, 1 week we were back below. What we can do, we can copy and paste over here onto the weekly high. I will go with the first initial weekly high at the top of that wick, because you can clearly see the body close below that, and we had a small breach of PA there too. Then we will whip back down, spiking into the previous 1, 2. Now, especially GBP pairs, the GBP pairs are very, very hard to read on the weekly time frame. So this strategic method is something that makes life easier when mapping out highs, lows, rejection areas, and manipulation areas on the weekly time frame. Here I've taken this one as well. So what we've seen a lot of accumulation go from within here, okay, so here to here, whip back down, then again from here to here. So we just kind of on all instruments, sorry, the weekly is just bouncing to and forth to see and map out the previous week highs, or maybe a previous prior week highs and lows, to bounce and rebound in between points and factors of price. The mechanisms go hand in hand with some of the fundamentals that have come out in the market, quarter-on-quarter reports, or the market is simply just waiting for fundamental data to be released to move in a specific direction. But if we can read price action to the exact T, we can normally tell what the news events are going to do in terms of which way the price is going to move and what type of momentum we are going to be looking for. So breakdown here, bang, this is a 6-hour liquidity area, we'll get to that afterwards. But for now, I feel that this point, 155.16 is where GJ is going to go next, especially after crashing through now. And we could potentially run into the weekly low here, 149.00. Daily, let's have a look at this one then. I've took VWAP from the high. Okay, so VWAP, taking it from the high there, but that's also 6-hourly VWAP, and that was a 10 a.m. closure, I remember that. I've mapped on the daily over here. I've just put it to the the right-hand side. That was just in case market wanted to break above the weekly grid and give us a push into the highs. If it wanted to make a new high, then simply put, we could have seen that be tapped by PA. This here, okay, is 6-hour. Any of these zones are 6-hour. So we do the specific, we have a look at the 2 weekly, the monthly, we draw the specifics on the weekly, we come into the daily, look at many different daily highs, daily lows. So here I've tracked and traced the daily high, but it lands perfectly on the weekly as well. Okay, maybe even we could have placed it here. There's not too much of a difference there, but you can see how we ran into it, spiked above, breached, came back below the weekly as well, came back into the weekly, and it also respected the 6-hour piece of accumulation point as well, which we'll get into in a moment. We broke back through a very, very specific daily area here, and this just comes with practice over time. I've been doing this for so long, I can spot this all out basically like the back of my hand. We break through mid VWAP, retest mid VWAP. We have a daily here at the bottom end where we fell into before, snap straight through. Okay, snap the weekly, and I'll just put some simple price area points on there as well with the label. And then what we can see here is liquidity that we're holding into right now is from the spike there and then the burst of momentum. Okay, so bringing that across, that's where our price is playing around right now. Going back to the day, we can see that I've placed the daily high there as well. So I can actually copy and paste that in, yeah, and keep it there, because if the market now wants to, so our daily high is printed, we burst above that, printed one more, we're below accumulation areas and the weekly still, and now it looks as if price is melting back down. My target for GJ is in fact going to be around these ways. Okay, so that's the thesis there. Going back to the 6-hourly, sorry, what we had over here was a small doji accumulation point I brought across, and if we were to zoom in, if we were to zoom right the way in, okay, zooming right the way in, we can see where we've run into the daily high. where we've been pulled back down, where we've retested the weekly, where we've retested higher end VWAP, where we've retested, you know, that there, fucking broken through this. There's so many things that we can see. Breakthrough, retest. On the retest of this candle backhand stick, we can see where we've retested daily. We've retested the VWAP mid. We've come back out, lower VWAP, mid VWAP, smash through, huge accumulation area as well, liquidity taken, and then what you can see here is the daily high. As long as we stay below that daily high, market can shift around a little. Remember, we still need to go into London session right now at the time of this recording, but we are looking to actually dump as well. So easy work there. And remember, on the weekly, we're still looking for downside space to be covered. Top down, hourly, super messy. Not really going to get into that too much. Let's have a look at, let's say H2. I want to keep things extremely clean going forward. So actually remove the hourly. Don't need the hourly. Don't need 15-minute. With the capital we trade. Different for everybody, but we can make exquisite decisions just from using these time frames here. Okay, thank you.